the whole idea is fairly good and is fairly bad, depending on where you stand on.
Yes.
Looking at the facts on the ground, the fact that some private universities are not going to receive funding is a total problem. But the fact that the university funding is going to be increased is also an advantage that we are not going to ignore.
Yes.
But as well, we have to look at other factors that comes around, because looking on the ground, we see that some students are really able to facilitate themselves for their education.
Yes.
But while others are really struggling, I'm sure you have heard about Koinama. And there are a lot of comrades out there who are enamoring,
Yes.
or who are going down on their,
Yes.
because they are missing meals, right?
Yes.
So considering that, there are a lot of issues that we are looking at here, and there are a lot of factors as far as we want to, look at the whole matter in the negative perspective again.
Yes.
It has its advantages,
Yes.
and it is going to, favor those who are very needy. And unless there is going to be a very clear path on how we are going to look at this matter, I believe this is a matter that is going to, take some time to deliver, because many students really are suffering out there, and
Yes.
we have to, how are we going to identify the most needy students? That is what we want to know.
Yes.
And how are we going to allocate them the best possible service? Look at the housing. A lot of comrades out there are really struggling. You find someone who is studying, say, in University of Nairobi, Parklands Law School, is living in Githurai. You can imagine the fare every morning coming and going there. It's a struggle. So this is something that we are not going to ignore.
Pretty much. Shilcha, I'll be coming back to you on this particular subject.
Yes.
And I want to pick quick sentiments from both of you, then I go to this side as well. Could you hand the mic to Sheila? Sheila, listen, like what Shilcha is saying, it's not essentially just a bad model, because in this now, university education funding has been increased to 84.6 billion, the highest we've seen it ever. But then, listen, according to Ruto, about 45,000 vulnerable students will be fully funded by the government. And listen, that is 29% of the new students who will join university in the 2023-2024 academic year. So essentially, what he's saying, look, if you fall in the category for most vulnerable, I'm going to give you a grant from the government that's going to cover almost 51% of your fee, and 49% is going to come from a loan. That's why we're then open to help. Are you vulnerable, able, or less vulnerable? Let's start from there.
Thank you so much. Am I vulnerable?
Yes.
Less
vulnerable or able?
Able.
Yes.
Okay, for me personally, I'd say I'm vulnerable. Yes. Okay,
Sheila, let's make this personal as much as we can,
Yes.
because then we do not know the formula that help normally uses to give out loans or to qualify you for a loan. What makes you think that you are vulnerable? Let me start like this. Did you go to a private school in your primary school studies before graduating to university?
No,
Yes.
I went to a primary public school.
Yes.
Yes, and then I went to a primary high school.
Yes.
Yes. So most of my life, okay, let me just speak for my fellows out there. Okay, I don't know what the government is considering vulnerable, but for me, if at all they are talking about those who cannot afford their education,
Yes.
their tertiary education, I think most of us will fall into that bracket from our village or wherever we come from. And basically, I don't really think the government really knew. Because for me, when I came to the school, I don't think the government really knew what I really needed. I came to the university with my parents, you get?
Yes.
They really didn't know what I was going through. And I really applied for that help. No one knew that I needed this. No one knows that I need this particular amount of money for my food every day. No one knows, not even the government. So basically, I don't know what the criteria they are going to use. And for me, if they are saying that the criteria has been used by the HELB, I think that's not the way to go, because really, what I've experienced with the HELB and whatever,
Yes.
it's not
Guess what?
equality.
We're
Yeah.
gonna